Francis Yates's 1964 Giordano Bruno and the Hermetic Tradition is one of those rare books that change forever the way in which scholars look at history. What's so impressive about her achievement is that it wasn't just a small, relatively neglected area of history whose understanding she revolutionised, it was the study of the Renaissance, one of the most intensely scrutinised periods of all. Giordano Bruno was a 16th century polymath. His areas of expertise included science, mathematics and philosophy. He anticipated modern astronomy by thinking that the universe was boundless and the stars were distant suns with solar systems. That didn't go down well with the Church, who held that the Earth was at the centre of the universe and the stars revolved around it. Bruno was burnt at the stake in the year 1600 at the age of 52 for holding what we would nowadays consider to be accurate scientific views. That was the conventional account. Then Frances Yates came along. She demonstrated that Bruno wasn't any sort of forerunner of the modern astronomer. Rather, he belonged entirely to his own era. And that era wasn't scientific in the sense that we understand it today. It wasn't even Christian in the sense that we understand it today. Rather, it was a world infused with magic, alchemy, and above all, Hermeticism. Hermeticism revolved around the conviction that there had once been an historical figure called Hermes Trismegistus, who lived before Plato and Moses, and on whom both those figures drew. Hermes Trismegistus had left us his teachings in a series of arcane documents, things like the Emerald Tablet, which provide instructions for effective magic. The founding principle of the whole system was as above, so below. The earthly realm was a mirror of the heavenly one, and the correspondences could be used to manipulate nature. Yates showed how deeply the Renaissance was infused with Hermeticism, and how deeply Bruno, amongst others, was influenced by it. For Yates, to the extent that the modern age could be said to have a single founder, it wasn't Copernicus or Galileo, it was a 17th century literary scholar called Isaac Casaubon, who proved beyond all shadow of a doubt that the writings of Hermes Trismegistus couldn't possibly be earlier than the 2nd century CE. From this followed fairly swiftly the realization that Hermes Trismegistus had never existed. If you're at all interested in magic, alchemy and mysticism, you should really read this book. It leaves us with a strong sense of the disenchantment of the world and a certain sadness that the world really isn't magical in the sense that we once thought.